let's get on focus. Hello guys, welcome back. For this one you here, my name is Lona and I'm a wine connoisseur. Therefore I create content on wine and every little thing in between. So in this video we're gonna sit down and answer 10 random questions I normally get asked on topic of wine. So sit back and enjoy. Even before we get further into this topic, guys, let us ask ourselves this simple question: what is wine? Think about it. There are numerous definitions on what wine is, but one that stood out for me is Science Plus Art by Wine Folly. So before we get any deeper, let me pour myself a glass of wine and then we can answer the question, what is wine? Allow me to answer this question as I pour myself a glass of wine. So, wine is defined as fermented grape juice, like in layman's language. It would be a certain type of grape, not table grapes that we're used to eating, but a certain type of grape. And the difference between the table grape and that specific type of grape called Vitis vinifera, they are smaller and have thicker skin and even sweeter. So when you ferment it, when you press it, you get grape juice. Then you add a special yeast, then the fermentation process starts. Then you get a byproduct which is alcohol and CO2. So the alcohol in this case is wine. So yeah, that's wine. So tonight in this video we're gonna have a Pinot Grigio. We didn't finish this bottle yesterday, so I can as well use it in this video. So yeah, and I'm pouring this wine in a red wine glass. Forgive me, because your girl just feels like having wine in a big glass. So yeah, let's proceed. Okay, I'm gonna go to question number 2, and I've just realized I have merged question number 1 and question number 2. My number 1 was what is wine, and number 2 was how wine is made. I think I have mentioned it in terms of in simple terms. You get your grape juice, you add a special kind of yeast, you ferment it, the fermentation process starts, and then you get a byproduct which is alcohol and carbon dioxide, and that's wine, and that's how wine is made. So the third question is, how many types of wine grapes exist? Ideally, I believe it's between 6,000 to 10,000 types of wine grapes that exist, but we know of the major red grapes and the major white grapes. So the major red grapes include Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Pinot Noir, Tempranillo, and etc. So there's a video that I did about the 5 major red grapes. You can go check it out, 5 to 6 I think. And same to white, the Riesling, the Sauvignon Blanc, the Chenin Blanc, the Chardonnay. I've also equally done a video on 5 major white grapes that you can go check it out. As much as there exist so many grapes like that, you don't need to know all of it. You just need to know a handful to be able to maneuver through a wine list or even in a restaurant. So check out the videos. I'm gonna put the link below on those videos that I've done before. But to answer the question, I've said it's between 6,000 to 10,000 types of grapes. The next question is the difference between old world wine versus new world wine. I don't know if you've come through these 2 terms or 2 phrases. Basically, I would just say it's anything New World involves anything that is outside Europe, yes, in simple terms. So that is the United States of America, Chile, Argentina, New Zealand, South Africa, anywhere that's outside Europe. That's the New World wines and New World wine world. And what you'll realize with this wines, they're easy to pronounce. The brand of the bottle or the name of the wine will be easy. They'll put the type of the grape on the bottle. Like for instance, you'll see it named as a Shiraz, actually Syrah in Australia or South Africa, and it will be pasted on the bottle. Unlike when it's in France or Italy or Spain, it will be the region that is on the bottle. unlike the type of grape. Also, another thing you'll realize with these two worlds of wine, the new world wine, the labeling seems to be more colorful, more vibrant and easy. But now for the old world wine, you'll realize the labels are more classic, very dull in colors, but you can really just tell this is a French Chateau, old Chateau bottle. Yeah, so that's the difference between these two terminologies in the wine. Question 5. What makes wine grapes different from each other? I think this question, when it's asked, is ideally how different is a Merlot from a Shiraz, from a Cabernet Sauvignon, from a Cabernet Franc, and etc. So in simple terms, imagine mangoes, the different type of mangoes, right? Let's even not go far. Oranges, the different types of oranges, and they all taste different. For instance, the oranges that we import from South Africa, let's say because we're Kenya based, will taste a bit different from the ones that are planted here in Kenya. Let's not even go far. For instance, the bananas in Uganda will taste different from the bananas here. Same to mangoes. The mangoes in Coast will taste different from the mangoes in Ukambani. So same to wine grapes. Wine grapes will differ based on the country it grows, the region, the soil, the weather. There's something called terroir in the wine world. So that is how the soil, the water, the wind, the sun in that region affects the grape. So the grapes are different. They are called different names, and they also tend to taste different because of the different area and the region, and also just the different structure of the grape. Yeah, so that's why they taste different. How to tell acidity in wines? Okay, I've mentioned this in a few wine tastings. I'm gonna use the glass that I have here, so it's pretty easy and nasty at the same time. So what you do, you take a sip, swallow, then you bend. Why I did that is to count the number of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and depending on what number I'll salivate will tell the level of acidity. If I salivated at number 3, that means the wine is high in acidity. When I salivated between 4 and 5, it's medium, and number 6, 7, 8 and above, that wine is very low in acidity. In this case, the wine is medium acidity. So you can taste this actually, I think, with any drink, because the moment acid, or rather anything in high acidity hits your tongue, the next thing is you salivate. So that's how you taste acidity in wine. Why should we decant wine? Very important. So I'll put a clip here on how to decant wine. So why do we decant wine, or why should we? It's because you let the bottle aerate, you let it oxidize a bit, just a bit of oxidation, to let the wine express itself more. And this is what I tell people. By the time you're opening a bottle, let's say it's 3 years old or 2 years old, that wine has been confined in that bottle for at least 24 to 36 months or even more. So it will be you will be doing the wine justice by pouring it into a decanter and let it aerate and oxidize a bit, so that it can open up its aromas, and you'll enjoy the wine at its full potential. Another reason we decant, it's just so that the particles can settle, or the tannins. I mean, you know, when you decant wine and it's in a bottle, I mean, when you leave wine in a bottle for a very long time, the sediments tend to settle down at the bottom of the bottle. So when you decant it, at least you're letting the sediment settle, and then now you can drink clean wine. But the main reason is always to aerate. Yeah. And what are tannins? This is a very good question. Tannins, you just hear us, the wine connoisseurs, throwing this word, or high in tannins, medium tannin, low in tannins. Tannins, I'm not having a red wine today, so I would you only find tannins in red wine, mainly because tannins are found on the skin of the grape. So red wines have skin contact with the grape juice, so that's why they have tannins and they have body, compared to white wines where there's no skin contact with the grape juice during fermentation. So Tannins you'll also find tannins in tea. It's that when you take wine, you feel the velvety, the drying effect on your mouth immediately. You take wine before you salivate, and this is on the red wine. So that effect, that the drying effect in your mouth that you have, that's tannin. I'll give you a task. Go take a tea bag and then suck it, and then you'll feel the same tannins you feel there. It's also the same tannins you'll feel in the wine. So those are tannins. Second last question, guys. I'm sorry this video is gonna be longer than normal. A sweet wine, bad wine? Hell to the no, guys. Hell to the no. Sweet wines are actually not bad wines. You just need to get the good sweet wines, and I'll recommend a few. So there's ice wine, there's late harvest. Ice wine, mainly it's ice that has been harvested when it's frozen, so the sugar concentration is higher, and then the juice will have higher concentration sugar. Same to late harvest wine. Late harvest wine are those wines that the grapes were let to overripe, and also they call it there's something they call botrytis or noble rot in the wine world, where the grapes are almost rotting and it's high sugar level. When you make wine with those grapes, they're always turning out to be sweet. There's also port, and there's also sherry. So sweet wine is not shit. Sorry, sweet wines are not bad. Just get the right one. If you're a sweet tooth, own it and enjoy a sweet wine. Just serve it very chilled. Very, very chilled. Yeah. Why does wine give me headaches? Interesting. I think it's how you drink it, honey. Or rather, you are not hydrating well enough. I say have 1 glass of wine and 1 glass of water. And by a glass of wine, I mean 150 ml amount of wine to 200 ml, and then you have like a normal glass of water. The balance will help you avoid headaches, and then also at least eat before indulging, and also just drink responsibly, bottom line, and yeah, you'll avoid headaches majorly. It's not the sulfites, but it's how you drink it. So I think those were all the questions I got asked. They're very random. Family and friends around me ask me all the time. I hope it does help you, and I hope I've answered a few questions that you always ask yourself. Other than that, guys, see you in the next one, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It will go a long way. Literally, it's free of charge. It helps me, it helps all of us, and it motivates us more to create more content. So guys, it will be an honor to get me to 1,000 subscribers. Cheers.